Honestly, my hopes weren't that high for this reunion because of how garbage the whole season was, but part one was like mid, if we're gonna be real. And there were a few moments that were worth talking about, but the rest were kind of boring. But let's break it all down in today's recap.
But I'll be on it always, always and ever.
Hey queens, welcome back to my queen cave. My name is Shelby, queen of the queen cave, and in here I drop recaps and reviews of my favorite TV shows and movies, commentary on any topics I find interesting, and deep dives into Black history, Black culture, and any icons that help shape that culture. If that is your vibe, hit the subscribe, you already know the deal. Today we are recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, their reunion. Finally this season is over because it was trash. Episode 17, the reunion part 1. Andy goes around and does his usual introduction of all the ladies, and when he gets to Meredith, she takes it upon herself to put Whitney on the spot about something that happened at BravoCon. Whitney then takes that chance to explain that she got really drunk at BravoCon, and she's a kind of like lovey, all over you, in your face type of drunk. And she was talking to Meredith, and she apologized to her about things that were said on the show and said that she wanted to be friends. Meredith immediately puts a pause on Whitney, calling her a liar, saying that Whitney basically told her why they can't be one way on camera and then just be friends off camera. And Meredith is trying to like paint Whitney as this two-faced lying ass hoe, and that has Whitney pissed off, and she's like, that is not what happened, you're twisting my words, and she's adamant that Meredith is lying on her. And since we don't have any footage of it, I guess it's just going to be a he said, she said, but it's kind of like, who do you really believe? Because Meredith is doing this whole thing this entire season of twisting people's words and doing all this stuff behind when the cameras are not rolling. So I don't really know how much credibility you have left, Meredith. And what's so annoying is Whitney makes the comment that Lisa and everyone else in the group has said something bad about Meredith behind her back. And Lisa basically admits to it. And she's like, don't just call me out, call everyone else out, do the same thing to everyone else. And I'm like, so is that an admission, Lisa? And Meredith, like, I don't know if she doesn't hear it or she just doesn't want to believe it, XYZ, but she, like, brushes that under the rug, and she, like, defends Lisa 5 seconds later after Whitney tells Lisa to be quiet. She's like, don't tell her to be quiet, don't tell her what to do. And I'm like, are you for real? You are going to bypass the fact that Whitney is telling you that your so-called friend is talking ish about you behind your back? And this is the second time this season someone has told you that, and you have not called Lisa out. You have not tried to get to the bottom of that or get more information, any of that. You're just going to keep bypassing it, knowing how much of a snake Lisa is. Honestly, I'm not really surprised because Meredith and Lisa are the exact same in some ways. Heather is now asked if she still thinks that Lisa is a risky friend, and Heather says yes because of how intense she is when she's trying to go after somebody, and Lisa, of course, does not agree with that. But she says that Heather, on the other hand, has been a snake sometimes in their friendship, and she references, a comment that she encouraged Angie to make that was supposed to be a joke, I guess, that Lisa didn't find funny. So she thinks that Heather has been a snake, and I'm like, I think Heather's been a snake in other ways based off of how she wants to make it seem like, oh, me and Lisa are friends, XYZ, but on the other hand, she's been the main one peddling this assumption that she thinks that Lisa is the one going around talking shit about everyone and putting it in the press, X, Y, and Z. So it's just like, it's not coming across that you want to hold your friend accountable. It's coming across as if you want everyone else to jump on the bandwagon of believing whatever you assume to be true about Lisa, which could be true, but you don't have any proof about it. So it's just like you're going around having everyone kind of dogpile on Lisa and have her be the main villain of the season is what I'm getting at. So it's just like, what kind of friend are we talking about here, Heather? It's just giving frenemies. I don't really see you having a true friendship with Lisa and vice versa with Lisa with you. This whole thing is fake as fuck in my opinion. But that's when Heather says that Meredith and Lisa tag team together, and I'm like, exactly, I definitely agree, and they do. Mary is asked the same thing, if she thinks that Lisa is a risky friend, and Mary agrees that she is because of how delusional she is, thinking that she's above the rest of the girls, and she's referencing the comment that Lisa made saying that she lives this much different life than the rest of the girls, and Mary's like, I don't understand that, it makes no sense, and it's honestly offensive. And Lisa is still in the background, and she's like, yep, Lisa's like, yep, I do. I live a very different life than everyone else. And I'm just like, Lisa, it's really crazy how they have a flashback when they're talking about Jack in another segment later on in the episode. They have a flashback of Lisa with Jack when she's helping him learn to drive, and she tells him to be confident, not cocky. So I'm just like, it's really crazy to see how far you veered off from that path, Lisa. You are the most arrogant, cocky, pretentious person on the fucking cast. And at this point, it's like the biggest turnoff about Lisa. It's like that's all she talks about is how much better she is than everyone else and how much she's such a big deal. She's so influential. It's all about me. It's just like, at one point, you know, girl, it was giving like girl boss in the very beginning, but now it's just like giving, you think you're above everyone else, and it's not even something that I want to watch. I don't want to watch you look down on everyone else and think that you're just so much better than everyone else. It's not fun to watch. Andy asked Whitney why she was so eager to bring up Lisa's lawsuits when she wasn't around, and Whitney explains that she did not believe that Lisa was missing the girls' trip because of work. She speculates that Lisa was recovering from a facelift, and Lisa gets so defensive over anything to do with her getting any work done. She wants everyone to believe that she's all natural, she never got anything done, she loves her face, she loves everything about herself, and it's clear that she has all these insecurities, and it's just like, it's okay if that's the case, Lisa. Just don't try to have us believe that you feel this way about yourself when you clearly don't. You can't even leave the house without a full face of glam to go to the grocery store. Like, what is that saying? I don't understand that. But anyway, I honestly do believe that Lisa got some work done to her face, because at the beginning of the season, I was thinking like, what has Lisa got done differently to her face? Like, she looked like a different person to me. Like, I knew it was her, but it looked like a completely different version of her. I'm just like, what did she have done? So in the episode, Andy does ask her, like, what did you have done? Like, straight up, he's like, what'd you have done? And I thought it was funny because, like, he asked her, like, a few times. And I don't know if she didn't hear him or she didn't want to answer, but he just, like, after, like, everything was calmed down, the conversations kind of went quiet, he asked her, like, what'd you have done? And she was like, she like beats around the bush for a second. And then she mentions Botox, fillers. She mentions threads, I guess, for her eyebrows. I'm like, that doesn't count, does it? I don't even know what that is. But I feel like it's just confirmed she got work done. And I don't understand why she just won't admit that she had something done. Who cares? Like, we can all clearly see that your face looks different. You saying you did not have any work done when we can clearly see the difference just makes you look dumb, in my opinion. It's like, what are you lying for? We can all see the difference. A fan question is asked for Bronwyn, and they ask why she was so quick to jump on the Lisa hate train and say whatever she was trying to say behind her back. And Bronwyn tries to say, well, I didn't really owe her anything. We weren't friends, and I was just discussing what I saw in the tabloids. And I'm like, girl, please. You were trying to get back at Lisa for all the stuff she was saying about you, Todd, and your family. Let's be so fucking for real. I forgot who brought it up first. Was it Whitney or Bronwyn? But whoever brought it up first, Bronwyn was the main one after that to talk about the entire rest of the trip. Andy asked Lisa to set that record straight on her lawsuits, and she explains that she has one case pending, one is in litigation, and the others were dismissed, as she is so adamant she never owed anyone any money. And I'm like, if that's the case, what is the pending case for? How are you in litigation? And the others you're claiming were dismissed, where did the claims come from in the first place, though? It's like, people don't just out of the blue come up and say, oh, you owe me money for whatever. They have receipts. So I'm wondering why she keeps trying to convince everyone that she never owed anyone money, but there were multiple claims that she did from people that had receipts. And at this point, it's time for Lisa to start deflecting. So she talks about Bronwyn's criminal charges, quote. And that's when Bronwyn brings up the fact that Lisa has been broken their truce to not talk about their families, especially Todd, because she's been saying a whole bunch of shit about Todd for honestly no reason. If we're going to be real, Todd only responds to how Lisa talks about him and Bronwyn and their family. I don't know that Todd has ever said anything to Lisa, like starting any mess with her, before she did anything to him. So I'm just like, what is all of this issue with Todd all of a sudden, Lisa? Like, I know she mentions that Todd said, like, he wouldn't pee on her, or she was on fire, or something like that, but it's like, that's because you've been talking about Bronwyn and their marriage and him and X, Y, and Z this entire season, Lisa, so how about that? But Bronwyn says that a fan sent her a video of Lisa talking all this mad shit about Todd, about how he's fat and weird and has a small dick and he's a pervert, X, Y, and Z, and it sounds like it was completely unprovoked, and it's like, and then Lisa has the audacity to say that it's false. She said, nope, that's false. It's like, girl, we have the tapes. Do you want to see it for reference? because we can see it with our own eyes. You're not gonna sit over here and tell the rest of the audience these things are false. And on top of that, they show other tweets for receipts of how she's been talking about Todd. And she's like, nope, that didn't happen. It's like, they're right here though. We have it right here on the screen, girlfriend. You want to explain how those tweets from your verified account got on there? If you're gonna say that they're false, huh? I was like, Lisa, please, why are you trying to sit over here and gaslight us to make it seem like Bronwyn is lying? We can see it right here with our own eyes. Thank you. Angie gets a fan question, and they ask what kind of example she is setting for her daughter after she makes all these comments about everyone and their appearance. And they make examples of when she said Meredith was a trampoline with eyes, and Lisa looked like she went through a windblower with her facelift. Angie then tries to explain that Lisa made a comment to one of her friends about how good Angie looks. She's like, oh, she looks so good with her Botox and fillers. Maybe I should get some, acting as if she's never had any work done and she's all natural. And that had Angie so irritated. I don't know why Angie gets so irritated that Lisa tries to deny that she had any work done. Like, who cares? Like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, that's her face. If she wants to say that she didn't get any work done, let her say whatever. Who gives a fuck at the end of the day? You guys all had work done. Everyone on this couch, maybe possibly not Mary, everyone else has definitely had work done. Like, at this point, who gives a damn? Angie then thinks that she did some sort of one up on Lisa, because she has some sort of like collab or some sort of like collaboration, I guess, with Arby's. And I guess that's one of like Lisa's places that she goes to eat. So I don't know if that was supposed to be some sort of like, yeah, you know, look at me, girl. I'm collabing with a company that you work with or you really like or something like that. And Lisa's like, okay. Lisa was not enthused. She was like, I mean, I saw that last night. Like, okay, next. I was like, I don't know what she was getting from that, but I was like, that's a flop. But Lisa thinks that she is so influential that the girls get all these collabs and opportunities off of her back. And I'm like, I don't really know about that, Lisa. Like, I understand you have some iconic one-liners for this franchise, but I think it's a long stretch to say that the girls all get collaborations with companies just because of you. That's a little bit off the waist. We get a cute little montage to honor Salt Lake City for having over 100 episodes with all the iconic one-liners included. And we get a fan question that asks which one of the ladies has grown the most since the beginning of the season or the franchise. Mary and Heather think they've changed the most, and I agree. I think that Mary definitely has changed a lot from the beginning of the season. She explained she did not feel included in the group in the beginning. She just felt ostracized, and she really was, because of the whole fact that she married her step grandfather or some weirdo shit like that, and she is running a church cult. But she has grown to love the girls and see the good in all of them, and overall she just wants them to grow and evolve. And for Heather, she gets emotional talking about how much the show has changed her life and how much she's grown, how much she's invested into herself, and how much she is just glad to be on the show. It is time for Brittany to join the rest of the girls, and she comes out all smiley, giddy as fuck, having a grand time, cheesing, and the girls are like, they are rolling their eyes, looking at her like, here we go. And I'm like, this is about to get good. We get a quick montage of the yacht trip and how dramatic and extra it was. Brittany is asked about her flirting on the trip and if it made Jared jealous at all. And she has the nerve to say, she gets all giddy, she laughs. You're not gonna believe this, but I actually didn't think that I was flirting until I watched the episode back. And the girls looking at her like, girl, are you fucking for real? They were like, are you kidding? You were doing nothing but flirting the entire time we were on the trip. And I'm like, girl, please, you're not fooling anybody. But anyway, Brittany says that Heather was actually a bigger flirt than her, which Heather quickly denies. And then we get some more detail on a comment that she made about Captain Jason. She said that they fucked around or something like that. They fucked around before or whatever she said. Something along those lines of them fucking around before. And of course, anyone else thinks that fucking around means some type of sexual intercourse happened. But she tries to say, she tries to explain it as fucking around has multiple meanings. And I just meant that we've hung out a lot, like we've hung out. And I'm like, then wouldn't you say that you guys are cool? You guys have hung out? Like you guys are friends? Not you guys have fucked around or whatever the case, whatever the fuck you said. That does not sound the same. So now she wants to backtrack after she was drunk, I guess we'll say, and she wants to speak about her sober thoughts thinking about Jason. So now she wants to completely change the meaning of what fucking around means to most people, try to gaslight the rest of us, make it seem like she didn't mean that. It's like, girl, please. You got caught saying something about Captain Jason that you want to happen, that we all know you clearly want to have some fucking around going on with Jason, but we know that's not gonna happen. So now that he has seen that shit, you're embarrassed. Now you want to backtrack and be like, oh no, it means something else. Girl, please. We then get a fan question about Bronwyn and these criminal fraud charges, quote, and they ask why she doesn't want to talk about it. You know, just because the case is sealed doesn't mean she can't talk about it. She just doesn't want to. Bronwyn tries to explain that she refuses to talk about the situation because she wants to respect the person that requested the case to be sealed's privacy, and she's learned the importance about not speaking about someone else's business. But she does try to confirm or prove these charges are false by trying to bring up her citizenship, saying that she wouldn't have been able to get it if she did have some fraud charges or some criminal charges on her record. So I guess that's her way of trying to debunk it. I guess it really doesn't matter at this point because it was so far in the past. They want to try to bring or dig something up on Bronwyn and it's not working out. Lisa again is adamant that she did not leak the story about Bronwyn's quote charges to the press, but Bronwyn tries to make the point that she may not have leaked it herself, but she definitely has people within her circle that has the traction to get those stories out there, which I do feel like could have some truth to it. It's just like Lisa always does have this dirt for everyone, and these stories conveniently start coming out right around filming time, right around the time Lisa wants to use that as ammo. So it's just like, I feel like there could be some truth to it, and I would not be surprised if like next season we get some more detail that she did have some hand in it. Lisa and Heather are now going back and forth over Heather saying that she does not understand Lisa's business or how she makes money, and I was like, why are we talking about this? But that has Lisa like super offended, super pissed off, and she's like, it is so disgusting that you want to act like you don't know how I make money for my business. You've been to all these events, you've been around my business this whole time, now all of a sudden you want to act like you don't know. The way she explains how her business model is, did it not sound a little bit like Jen Shaw? Like, to me, like when she was explaining it to me, I was like, that sounds a little similar to Jen, no? So like when whoever made the comment about her being similar to Jen Shaw, I was like, it sounds like it's tracking. Heather then gets asked the question that I was already questioning earlier in the season, why one moment she's claiming her and Lisa are friends, and the next she's the main one going around saying that Lisa is the source of the dirt in the group. And I'm like, finally someone says it, because I already peeped this a long time ago. Heather tries to explain that Lisa is a friend to her, but she's not a good friend. She's a bad friend, but she just wants to hold her bad friend accountable. And I'm like, so you guys are friends, but you're saying that she's a bad friend, but you are trying to hold her accountable. Heather, that is bullshit. Like, please stop with the fuckery, because we can already see right through the charade. I'm like, we can already tell and see that you do not like Lisa. You want to try to get close to Lisa so you can learn all of her secrets. You are like that. Ooh, you are one of those friends that try to get close and act like you're cool just to get information, to go back on the forefront and talk shit about you and make everyone be against you. Like, it's giving that. You've been doing that the entire season with Lisa. Angie is asked what she thinks about all this, and she pulls out her prop, which is a scroll that Meredith gave her as a gift for whatever. And I'm like, what is this for? And she passes it over to Andy, and she says that I guess the phone number that was trolling her is the same number as Lisa's, and it's supposed to be this like big reveal. And I'm like, why couldn't you just say that, Angie? This whole like scroll bit is so dumb. Lisa go talk about let's talk about the photos you have in your phone. And I was like, what photos? So hopefully part 2 is getting juicy and good, because part 1 was a flop and it was boring. And I'm like, there's no new information being circulated in this part 1. This is stuff that we've been talking about the entire season that was just redundant and over repetitive that we don't want to hear anymore. So yeah, I think part 1 again was boring as fuck, and I'm hoping that part 2 and 3 do better. And I'm hoping that part 2 and 3 actually suffice and make sense for there to be a part 2 and 3, because they keep doing this whole like 3-part reunion as if we need 3 parts. This could have been condensed. Some things could have been cut out. A lot of this stuff could be removed. Let me know how you felt about part 1 in the comments down below. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!